Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are seeing this video or wherever you are watching this video from, this is Comrade Celestine. I greet you or salute you all. Today, I want to talk about the religious leaders and the traditional rulers, their rules and their things, the way they do things in this country, especially in election period. I've been watching them for years. I decided to come up this time to speak about it because I've been matured about it now. I've been watched them for years. Anytime Nigeria is conducting election, I see the role they play. I see the things they do. I've been watching them. The traditional rulers, the imam, the pastors, those are the traditional and religious leaders in this country. They are now deeply involved in partisan politics, which is not going to help our tradition and our religions. It's not going to help us. Now see those people that are supposed to be totally separate themselves in partisan politics. There are politics, there are partisan politics. Those that play partisan politics, those are the politicians that belong to political parties. A situation where you have different kind of politicians, PDP, APC, Labour Party, name the political party we have in Nigeria. Name them. We have different persons inside the church, inside the mosque, inside the community that belong to different political party. But you are the leaders, imam, pastors, the kings. You not play partisan politics. How is it going to help us as a nation? It's not going to help us. I came up with this video because of the role many of them played in this past presidential election we had in this country, the parliamentary election, the presidential election, the governorship election, and the state houses of assembly elections in Nigeria. I watched with keen interest the role they played. You could see them all over the places. If you are one of those that read newspaper, you could see them coming up with their prophecies, reading the newspaper. If those that watch television, you could see many of them in television. If those in social media, you could see them in social media. Even with radio houses, you can also see them, listening to them, giving fake prophecies because of their emotion and their biased mind and their sentiments, which they don't supposed to be. It's totally wrong for them to be deeply involved in partisan politics. Now today, before the election, I watched many of them talking about candidates, seeing them using politics to divide the country, using politics to divide the church, using politics to divide the community, using politics to divide the mosque. It's totally unacceptable to many of us. The reason why we are talking about you people today, you are bringing yourself out. Person like me will only praise you if you do something well. I will only condemn you anything you do that is not good. So I believe when someone progresses in error, the best way to correct it is to let the person know, Oga or Madam, what you did is wrong. In future occurrence, to stop those things. That is me, that is life I live. I don't pretend. Now, immediately after the presidential primaries of APC, I watched this man, the man that owns Dunamis City, Polenuche, if I'm not mistaken with his name. I could see the emotion all over him. The way he was speaking. Is it that diabolic? I'm quoting him now. Is it that wickedness? Are you not ashamed? People don't want you. You are giving them money, buying people caution with your money. Who said the East cannot rule this country? All like that, he was talking in church service. He was talking. The world was watching. I listened. I said, Jesus Christ, God, this is your servant. Or are we mistaken, or am I mistaken? Is he pretending? Now, immediately or after the election, or before the election, I have opportunity to interact with some of the men of God and some traditional rulers. Especially the pastors. Let me talk about the pastors very well. The question I ask many of them is that, as a man of God, you are the messenger of God. That's what it means, a messenger of God. Whether pastor, apostle, bishop, reverend, those are just titles. The real thing is the pastor. Supposed to be the messenger, the one that carries the message of God to the people. An election is coming. We are about to choose our leader. Did you guys bother to ask God, please, among all these contestants, among the candidates, among the aspirants, who is going to be the next leader, our next leader? Because one of them must be, whether you like it or not. The reason why you must ask God, because you have to put your emotion aside, you have to put your sentiment aside, you have to put your religion aside, you have to put your biased mind aside for God to speak to you, for you to ask God. Because whoever he meant will be the leader, the president of the country, or the governor of the state, or will be the one that will make law for you and I in the next 4 years. Because if you have been consulting God for all your affairs, all you do, definitely God will speak to you. But many of you fail because of emotion and sentiment. You never bother to ask God. All you could do is to come to newspaper, come to television, come to social media. Television is start making a lot of things that is far from God. Start giving fake prophecies. Start telling your members lie, using name of God to lie, giving them advice from you, making them to believe it's a prophecy from God, which was totally wrong. If you go to the mosque, I know very well the imam do tell their member or their people how to vote on election, who to vote for. I know. But you don't see them coming up when election is around the corner, coming up on television, all of all these things, start making prophecies, start giving fake vision of all those things. The Lord said, this man will do this man will win. No, I have never seen them. You can also replicate that in the house of God. Instead of coming on air, you start making fool of yourself. Start making some persons believe that Jesus Christ don't speak. I am not doubting that, because many of you did not even call by God. Many of you. It was maybe frustration or fake vision or fake prophecy that make you to believe God called you. Call some of you. The way you guys do some things, it surprises us. Not just Ole Poleneche, so many men of God. Is it Suleiman? That one is just extraordinary. Something you cannot even think. They are confusing themselves. They are confusing themselves. And the worst part of their member keep listening to them. Because their member never see things wrong what they are doing. Even when they are wrong, the member sees everything is correct, is good. No. What have you been giving your member to drink? I don't believe every rational thinking human being will sit down and start listening to nonsense. Before the election, the presidential election, you said you and your family, you are fully obedient. Automatically, you told your member, you were telling your member across the country that they should vote for Obi. Fine. Not against that. Not at all. But immediately after the presidential election, the governorship election came up, the parliamentary election came up in your state. And you also told the members to now vote for PDP. You are confusing them. You are making some of us to continue to believe on some of the things you have been saying, you are speaking on your own. You don't, messenger don't just wake up in the morning and start carrying message on his soul without hearing for a master. Anytime you speak, if you are speaking on your own, fine. Don't say God see. Because you are a role model to many of them. And you now quote one portion of the Bible, start telling them, respect prophet, respect this one. If you don't, oh God. You can confuse them when you can only lie. You will continue to lie to them. You will start lying to them in the Bible, quoting one verse in the Bible to lie to them because you want to collect tithe, you want to lie to them, you want to give fake prophecy in election. Your primary objective is to lead them to Christ, not politics. If you ask God, God will speak to you. Except maybe you are not be hearing from God and you are not be consulting God for all your affairs. That is it. I will stop here now and will continue to speak about it. We are not stopping this particular one here, but we will continue to speak about this. Because we need to really talk about this, the roles of the partisan politics our traditional ruler, our religious leaders have engaged themselves into. It's not going to help us. Thank you.